2.1.2a. Suppose that the fixed costs for the production of a certain model of microwave are $22,500 per month. When 1,000 microwaves, so that's a quantity, when 1,000 microwaves are produced, the average cost of each is $44.50. Remember that AC is equal to the cost divided by the quantity, so cost would equal AC times Q. What they've done is they've said, okay, the formula for average cost is the cost divided by the quantity. So if we multiply the Q over to the other side, we get C by itself. So cost is equal to average cost times the quantity. That's going to be important for our problem here. Assume that the monthly cost is a linear function of the number of units produced in 1 month, okay, or in the month. I'm going to stop there for a second and not read the last sentence yet, because the last sentence tells us to plug in 2,000, and we don't want to do that until we actually have the equation written. All right, so it says monthly cost is a linear function based on the number of units produced. Okay, if you look back in our textbook, in 1.2, it says that a linear function is of the form f of x equals mx plus b. If I could type it correctly. There we go. All right, so a linear function is the form y equals mx plus b is probably what you learned first in Algebra 1. All right, so in the case of cost, I know that cost is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost. And for us, that's going to mean the variable cost is based on the quantity. Fixed cost is something you have to just pay all the time, no matter what. But the variable cost is based on the number of items you make. And so in the case of this problem, or others like it, that's going to mean it's the fixed cost plus the cost per item times the quantity. In other words, it's equal to, I'm going to call fixed cost FC, fixed cost, plus the cost per item, which I'm just going to go ahead and call M like it did in mx plus b, and then the quantity is Q. All right, so fixed cost, that's not F times C, that's FC, fixed cost. All right, so there's our linear function we're trying to write. Now it told us in this problem that our fixed cost was 22,500. That was given in the problem, 22,500. And it told us that if we use Q equals 1,000, that the average cost is $44.50. All right, so based on the fact that the cost is the average cost times the quantity, I can now say that that cost of producing 1,000 would be $44.50 times 1,000, which is 44,500. 44,500. That's the cost, the total cost for producing 1,000. All right, so I was given this fixed cost. I know what to plug in there. That's 22,500, right? What I don't know is M. What is this cost per item? And I can solve for M because I now know that 44,500 is the C value. And I know that if I plug in 1,000 for Q and 22,500 for FC, that I have an equation I can solve for M. So we're going to plug in C equals 44,500 MQ equals 1,000, and FC equals 22,500. So we can solve for M in the equation C equals FC plus MQ. All right, so let's do that. 44,500 equals 22,500 plus M times 1,000. All right, so if you remember how this works, you would subtract off the 22,500 from both sides. And if I subtract 22,500 from 44,500, I get 22,000. And then the next step to solve for M is I want to divide by 1,000. 22,000 divided by 1,000 is 22. All right, so now I know the cost per item. So the equation we're looking for is going to be C equals fixed cost 22,500, and that's not dependent on the quantity, plus 22 times the quantity. All right, so now I'm going to read that last sentence in the problem. It said, write the monthly cost as a linear function, which we did, and find the cost of producing 2,000 microwaves in a given month. All right, so if you'd kind of just read over this very quickly, you might have thought, oh, I just double it. But no. The fixed cost is the same, but the quantity is different. So now we're going to plug in 2,000. All right, so C is going to equal 22,500 plus 22 times 2,000. And you might have noticed I have Excel down here. I use Excel as my calculator. So I'm going to type in equals 22,500, no commas, plus 22, and you have to tell Excel to multiply by putting an asterisk. So 22 times 2,000. If you try to do it by doing parentheses, like 22 in parentheses and 2,000 in parentheses, it will not know what you're talking about. You do have to type in the asterisk. All right, so 66,500, and that is choice A. Let's go check that. And I just pulled up the textbook. 1.2 is where it told you how to write the equation of a linear function, and then 2.1 told you about cost, and 2.1.2 told you about average cost. But anyway, so back to the practice problem we were working on. 66,500 was the answer. Okay, hope that helped.